This is Eric Martin, Report Game Geek. I'm here with Justin Jacobson from Restoration Games, looking at Downforce by Wolfgang Kramer, a latest iteration of a classic game from him.
Yeah, this is a different sort of thing from what we have done with a couple of the other games. This is a game that's been around for quite a while. Started in '74, I think, was his first published game, actually. And then he was themeless, and then he got a version with the Formula One racing theme, and it's had about 8 different versions of it.
Right.
Including
Daytona 500 is one I really remember.
That's the one Rob remembered, and that's why it got on our short list. Rob was like, hey, we should do Daytona 500.
That's right. Well, it had a U.S. mainstream presence for a little bit, and then there's been a Mayfair edition. And
yeah, the funny thing about the Daytona 500 edition is Daytona is not a very exciting track. It's basically just a big circle. So they added the curves and the drafting and stuff like that. But some of the older tracks are a little more interesting. So
okay, so the game system is still the same.
Yeah, we didn't need to.
About that at all.
We didn't need to do much to the game system. The only thing we did add was these racer powers. So everyone's got a unique ability that they're going to get for the game that do different things. Some of them are in terms of like being able to manipulate the speed cards and things like that. So just to mix it up a little bit and give everyone a little different power, add a little layer of strategy to the game.
Okay. All right. Maybe you could just talk about the game system for those who don't know.
Yeah. So there's really 3 parts to the game. There's the auction, the racing, and the betting. So one of the things we did is you'll notice there's no paper money on the table. We got rid of the money. We have a score pad that simplifies everything. Keep track on a single score pad for everybody, for each person. So you auction the cars off, you'll get the powers, and you'll pick your cars, and everybody gets at least one car. And then you get a hand of these speed cards. And they'll have different variations of the colors and the different cars on them. And basically each turn you have to play a card from your hand. Now you don't own all the cars, so sometimes you'll be playing cards that have other people's colors on them, and you have to move their cars. So the strategy is moving other people's cars really inefficiently, moving your cards really efficiently, playing your cards at the best time. So this track is, I should mention by the way, that this is going to be a double-sided board. We have 2 different tracks in the game, this 6-fold board. This is a little bit of a meaner track, so it's got some more narrow corners, choke points, right? So you can block people and burn cards off with their colors while they're blocked and things like that. So.
Okay. How does the bidding work initially, or the bidding for the drivers with no money?
Right. So this was something our Chief Restoration Officer, Rob Davio, came up with to simplify and get to the game a little faster. We found that the auction was taking a little bit more time than the fun it was bringing. So the way it works is you shuffle up these Speed 8 cards and the power cards, and each lot comes up for bid one at a time, so it'll be a power card and a speed card. And the way you bid is you would bid with the cards in your hand. Okay. So if I want to bid on green, I'll take a card with a green on it, and I'll secretly put it down. Everybody puts a card down and they flip it over. Whoever has the highest number of that card bids that amount. So if I'm playing this card with the green 4 on it for the green racer, I would bid $4 million.
Okay.
And then ties are broken by whoever's got the most number of cards on the card they bid.
Okay.
And then you just check off how much you bid on the score sheet. You make your bets on the score sheet. Each time you pass first person passes a yellow line, everybody bets on any car. You can bet on your opponent's cars, hedge your bets.
You know what you hold.
Right, and then you get money for the payouts depending on how you finish in the race. You add up all the money at the end, and whoever has the most money wins. It's really simple. One of the things we really like to do is just sort of streamline and get to the fun faster. So this game plays, it's 30 to 45 minutes. One of the things some people like to do, it can be a little random, obviously, with the cards, but you have, playing them, there's some strategy.
Right. I mean, that was the fun always of trying to make that work. Because you can, if I recall correctly, you can do the movement in any order on the card.
No, you have to do it top to bottom. Top to bottom. But I will say some of the player powers mess with that. So there's some where you can switch colors. There's some where you can ignore a color depending on your power. So that's where we added some of that in.
Okay.
One of the things you can do, though, is sort of play a world tour and basically play 2 games in a row back to back. It still plays in under an hour. And you have a little more strategy over the 2 games than depending on how you're doing it. So.
Okay. All right.
I will mention, by the way, these are cheap demo plastic copies. We don't need those. We have really cool 3D 2-tone Formula One race cars. They're huge. They're like 42 millimeters long. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right. There you go. Overview of Downforce. Classic 40 years old now.
Yeah.
And coming back to
Still going strong.
All right. Thanks for the overview, Justin.
Thanks.